Hello and welcome to another episode of the Tejano Traveler. I'm your host Wally, and today we are on the Texas Tropical Trail in Laredo, Texas, a place that's very dear to me since it is my hometown. It's where I grew up, and we're going to take a look around some of the area, mostly the downtown area because that's more of the historic side. So hopefully you'll enjoy seeing my old hometown. Here we have the old public library, which has a lot of history behind it. I wish they would renovate it. If I was a billionaire, I would definitely come here and redo everything and take care of some of the murals and just make it a bit more spectacular the way I imagined it to look back then when it opened. It needs some help, so hopefully it'll get the help that it needs. And there was this cool firefighters memorial of some of the officers that were lost during some of the great fires of Laredo, along with the old city courthouse. It looks like it has no AC and looks uncomfortable. And there's Curly. I'm not sure what Curly did to deserve a statue, but he is apparently well up there. There's the old Plaza Theater where I saw Optimus Prime die. It was traumatic, but it's a theater I hope they fix. But most of historic Laredo is surrounded around San Agustin Cathedral and the plaza down there. So if you ever come here, that's going to be the focal point. You can go in there, check it out, and then walk around the plaza also. Here we have Zaragoza's statue, and along with a gazebo and some other things that you can enjoy. This is a very historic area. Most of the buildings surrounding the plaza are historic, such as the Posada Hotel, which is the main hotel here in Laredo, Texas, and the Republic of the Rio Grande Museum, since Laredo was the capital of the short-lived nation that separated from Mexico and Texas and lasted for about less than a year. But we're still pretty proud of it, and there's our flag. And mirrors, because mirrors are everywhere apparently, if you're doing old artifacts. But you can come here, check out some of the furniture, and learn a little bit of the history behind the museum, which is pretty cool. Then you can also walk over to the Border Heritage Museum. They always have different exhibits here. I used to love this house when I was a kid, and I would imagine owning it if I ever became a billionaire. But you can go there, see some great exhibits on history, local history, see some old photographs of how things used to be. It's right within walking distance of the cathedral. And it's always an interesting thing to go and do. Plus, when I was there, they were having a Cantinflas exhibit, which was pretty cool because apparently Cantinflas was everywhere. Look at that guy. He's awesome. He's funny. He's weird. He's strange. He's a Mexican Harry Chaplin. What is that? What they call him? Anyways, some random roaming around downtown. You can see some of the old buildings that are still standing. You can't really tear them down, so that kind of makes me happy. So just renovate them. And then there's that old Hilton. I think my brother lived there. I don't know. And the old River Drive Mall, which is now an outlet shop. And the old Laredo Railroad. Plus some of the houses downtown are pretty cool. They're nice old mansions, and I can just imagine the people who used to live there. I'll just imagine what the renovation would be like nowadays. So it'll be kind of cool to just drive around, see some of these old houses, see the different styles. And there's the Jovita Idar Plaza, which is pretty cool. Now we're at Bruni Plaza, or La Plaza de los Viejitos, as my mom used to call it. It's got a lot of war memorials, which is pretty cool. And then the old Rialto Hotel, plus old City Hall. I love looking at all these old buildings. And the old Hamilton Hotel, which I also wish they would renovate. It's pretty cool. It's pretty nice. I got to walk inside. Apparently now it caters to the older generation. It's a place for them to go and have their place So it's still being used, and that makes me happy because it's a pretty cool hotel. Then we have Fort McIntosh or Laredo College, or as I used to call it, Laredo Community College. It's where I started off my college career that eventually led me down the path that I'm at now. But the site used to be old Fort McIntosh for a long time, and you can still see a lot of the barracks and military buildings that have been turned into college offices and dorm rooms and classrooms. So it's pretty cool just driving around, seeing some of that history, seeing how they've turned the military history into education. But there's a lot of old buildings there. Some of them don't seem used, some of them do. But it's cool just driving around and seeing things like this big hall. They also have the Fort McIntosh Cemetery, so if you're there, it's right next to a baseball field. You can honor the dead and watch baseball at the same time. But I'm pretty happy that they haven't gotten rid of it or anything. At the college, you can also go to the environmental center, which showcases some of the local flora and fauna of the Laredo area. You can see some alligators, which is always fun, and get to know a little bit more about how the animals interact here in Laredo and what they do and which animals are native and which ones are invasive, and get to see some turtles because turtles are awesome. And then Laredo has just random art here and there. This is one of my favorite areas. It's, I guess, right next to a creek, and they have these old concrete slabs that people have decided to turn into art. So I kind of like it. They show some pretty inventive and colorful and creative ideas. This one was my favorite. I wish I knew who the artists were though, and how to thank them for it. And there's Spooky Mercy Hospital. That's where I was born. If you want to steal my credit card, that's a info tip, I guess. And my favorite fancy house, which is by the HEB on Guadalupe. They're trying to renovate it, which makes me happy too. And there's the Laredo Public Library. I like the murals that they have on there. I've watched some pretty cool wrestling here with Javier Garza, so that's awesome. But it's always vibrant, always has something going on. So check out your local library wherever you are. There's Sor Juana, who is famous, and I think that's Gael Garcia, but no, that's the actor. So yeah, maybe I don't know who that is. There's Sandra Cisneros for sure. I know that one. And here's my Texas A&M International University, TAMIU, and my javelinas that haven't left. I'm pretty sure some of those are descendants of the ones that I used to admire while I was there. But it's grown a lot since I was enrolled here, which makes me happy. I'm glad that it keeps going, but I love this university. It gave me my degree, and it's why I continue to wear their shirts in all of my videos. I'm sure you've noticed me wearing TAMIU shirts. This is it. This is the place where they come from. Laredo also has a pretty cool water museum. When I first came here, I was amazed at the level of awesomeness that they had. A lot of information. It's very well done. It definitely gives you more of an idea of what happens to our water once we use it. We know what happens to our water before we use it, but not after, if that makes any sense. So it's cool that they have that there. Then I hadn't had Glass Kitchen hamburgers in decades. Those fries are delicious. I should have ordered a double, but it was pretty tasty. I can see why it's lasted this long. It's a Laredo classic. That's my mom. We're here at Lake Casablanca International State Park, which is the state park that started it all. It was where I used to come here and camp out while I was a Boy Scout with Don and Peter and Robbie and all them peoples. And this is one of my favorite picnicking spots right next to the lake. And the cheese is at United. You're not a United Longhorn unless you've eaten pizza here or relaxed at the cheeses. I definitely cannot climb them anymore. But oh well, I still miss them. I hope they never disappear. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for enjoying my Laredo, and I hope you like and subscribe. Bye bye.